It's almost time for the Minnesota DFL's Precinct Caucuses. This is your chance to make your voice heard in the Democratic Farmer-Labor Party. Stick around, because Sea Change has the tools you need to make the most of this important evening. Precinct caucuses are the first step in selecting party leadership, writing the DFL platform, and endorsing candidates. They're also the most local political unit within the DFL. If you want to influence the DFL's party direction, leadership, candidate endorsements, or platform, then attending a precinct caucus is the most important thing you can do. The decisions made by each precinct caucus inform everything the DFL does in your local unit, your congressional district, and the entire state. Caucuses have a storied history and are unique to the U.S. They used to be more common, but many states have transitioned to primary elections where voters fill out a ballot to choose party leaders and select candidates. That process is a lot more expensive and makes it harder for new candidates and party activists to make themselves heard. At precinct caucuses, you meet with your neighbors to discuss issues you care about, to hear directly from candidates, and to get involved with the DFL's actual leadership structure. In 2024, Precinct Caucuses call to order at 7 p.m. on February 27th. Registration begins at 6:30, but if you can be there a little early, you'll beat the line and you'll have time to meet with your neighbors. If you want to help out, you can also volunteer with check-in. Talk to your local caucus organizer to see what they need. Every precinct caucus follows a standard agenda to make everything easy. On caucus night, you will elect delegates and alternates to represent your precinct at the convention of your local organizing unit. You'll also elect leaders to represent your precinct at the local level for the next 2 years and discuss and vote on proposed resolutions to become part of the state party platform. You'll also elect a chair to run the meeting for the night, and you'll elect people to serve on pre-convention committees and hear from local candidates. If you'll be 18 by election day, whether or not you're an eligible voter, you're still eligible to fully participate in your precinct caucus. And if you're 16 or 17, you can also participate. You won't be able to vote or become a delegate, but there's still plenty of other things you can do. And don't let your boss keep you from participating. Precinct caucuses are protected, just like voting at the ballot box. The Minnesota Secretary of State says that you have the right to take time off work to be at a precinct caucus. Just give your employer 10 days notice in writing. You also have the right to hear and make yourself heard. If you're deaf or hard of hearing and you request an interpreter, any major political party must attempt to get you one. If you're visually impaired, you also have the right to request written caucus materials ahead of time. In some parts of the state, many caucus goers don't speak English. Typically, interpreters need to be hired, so reach out to your local party leader to ensure there are language accommodations for you or your neighbors. This is a huge opportunity for the DFL to have more voices heard and to be more accountable to the people it serves. So encourage your neighbors, even those who don't speak English, to ask questions and to have concepts repeated. This will help everyone follow along and fully participate in the precinct caucus. And finally, if you can attend on caucus on February 27th and still want to be a delegate or serve on a pre-convention committee, the DFL has you covered. Fill out our caucus non-attendee form in the video description and send it to your local DFL leadership. It's not a guarantee, but it'll put your name in for consideration. The people who show up are the DFL party. By spending that one Tuesday in a meeting with your neighbors, you are acting as the DFL party and deciding its future. Use your powers for good and in solidarity with your neighbors. Happy caucuses.